In manifestation or law of attraction circles, you often hear about how when things are not materializing right away or appearing the way you had visualized, that the universe is testing you to sculpt you into coming more into alignment with your desires. However, this doesn't work when the universe doesn't have a separate mind from your own. When you are trying to manifest your desires, especially the really big ones, it often appears that when you first get started, that things actually appear to be getting worse. Now, some people will try and tell you that this is because the universe is giving you a litmus test to make sure you are being authentic in what you want, as if you didn't already know within what you really wanted and weren't being honest about it. They continue to suggest that the universe is forcing you to go deeper and examine yourself. And it will continue to do so until you truly embody your desire. And oftentimes when you do this, again, it seems things continue to get worse. Why? Why is the universe really challenging you that much? It's not. Let me explain why, so you can let go of the battle armor you feel you need to don in order to deal with the universe's litmus test. But before I do that, let's deal with the psychology of that challenge to begin with. The universe is testing you. Well, there's the universe, and then there's you. Conceptually, who's bigger? And who's going to win that battle? Because let's face it, that's how we approach our challenges. Right. If you do win, it's going to have to be a knock-down, drag-out fight because your opponent is so much larger than you. And because it is testing you, also has a much bigger brain than you, as it seems to think independently of you. Essentially, this philosophy is no different than a religious person begging God for his hand in the making of their experiences. God has just simply been traded for the universe. But this is not how the physical universe works. It does not have a separate mind from yours. It is not an independent entity from you. It is you. Therefore, the universe isn't testing you. And no, I'm not going to say you're testing yourself. You see, the universe, instead of being a 21st century alternate to an ancient or medieval god figure, is really more like a mirror. That is, it is a reflective surface, and a very dynamic one at that. And a mirror does not think. It is not independent nor separate. It has no personality. It is simply reflecting what is being viewed within it. And you are that viewer for what you are experiencing. And all this out here is simply a reflection of what you are experiencing within your non-physical awareness, your consciousness, your spirit. Knowing this, you can now answer that enigmatic question of why it appears things get worse when you first embark on the manifestation process, and why you do have to really dig down and get dirty with yourself. Because at the start of any new transformation, you are incredibly aware of the contrast of where you are and where you'd like to be. In this case, you're adding just a bit more focus toward what you're not liking, thus magnifying it as a way of getting you to go deeper to change it. This is actually quite natural because of how we've taught ourselves and how to deal with our problems. You must face them. In other words, keeping them firmly in your awareness. In manifestation circles, they will say your old self is rebelling against the new. No, what's happening is that you are continuing to place awareness on the problem. Because in our society, we often think that if we look at a problem long enough, a solution will magically appear. In your mind, you are always keeping the problem firmly there and trying to outwork through a mental maze of how to get away from it. The old self rebelling is not a precursor for transformation or a guarantee that it will fall apart. It is simply a reflection of how much of it is taking up space in your awareness while you are working through the transformation process. It will only fall apart when the focus is taken away from it and moved into the creative construction of what the new intention is to be like. Because awareness is what brings life. It's what constructs life. If the focus is still on the old self and its impediments, guess what your awareness is continuing to bring to life? The universe is not sculpting you or trying to bring you into some particular vibrational frequency. It is simply mirroring your own beliefs and attitudes that are associated with what you are desiring to create. Nor is the universe inviting you to take a closer look at yourself. Rather, you are compelling yourself to do it. That is the action of unfoldment, to go outside the box of what you are used to, which isn't going to always be easy or a walk in the park. You are treading into areas previously unknown within your consciousness, within your spirit, and bringing them into the light of your conscious awareness. If you are still not receiving what you are asking for, it is not because you aren't in alignment or at an incorrect vibration. It is because you are dealing with some beliefs that you are still attached to, that are telling you that you can't have or are not worthy of what it is you are really hoping to create. And that's the difference. You're not asking the universe. You're not hoping for or trying to reach some mystical frequency vibration of X megahertz. You are in an act of creation that is being mirrored back to you through your physical body's nervous system and sensory cortex areas of the brain, where you literally make the universe you are walking around in. The resistance you are feeling and experiencing comes right back to certain beliefs you are harboring and nothing more. It is a psychological structure that needs to be remodeled in certain areas related to what it is you are trying to bring into being. The universe is simply reflecting back on you where you are in that process, giving you clues how far you've come and how far you still have yet to go. Again, the physical outside world and universe is not a separate, independent entity looking at us and saying, "Have you made the grade?" No, it is simply a mirror, and it is our own self continuing to unfold, examine, and look at all that we are, especially in that particular area of the self that you're trying to create. This notion of the universe is testing you is a form of mental gymnastics in trying to explain why certain aspirations don't materialize right away. It tries to explain why it is messy because, by golly, if I were running the show, it wouldn't be so crazy. But the fact of the matter is, you are running the show. You are the show. And you are a dynamic, multidimensional being, not at all simple. So in transforming yourself, your spirit, unless you're a very simple person, in which most of us aren't, it's not going to be easy. The big things we have made big inside ourselves because our associations to those ideas, and typically a myriad of different attitudes and beliefs surrounding them. This makes going from point A to point B a trial, because we are having to carve new paths and dig through our own weeds. We are having to move into areas previously unexplored and unknown, and yes, deal with current ideas and conceptions about that particular place we are driving toward, that this forest of mental weeds has kept us from venturing into. Yes, celebrate your victories, big and small. Not because the universe is acting as a god and will reward your begging, which is completely robbing you of your power as a creator, by the way, but because you are a complex, multidimensional being, and you are creating something new, something bold, something on a certain level you will find miraculous. And when that miracle happens, and it will when you bring it fully into your non-physical awareness, you can realize the true force of creation in this universe and what this universe really is. It is you.